Good morning children. So today we are going to continue our second chapter, that is physical and chemical changes. So what we have studied yesterday? Yesterday we were studying the reversible change, irreversible change, periodic change, non-periodic change, desirable change and undesirable change. Okay, I think all of you understood that much topics. Okay, so now we are going to start the next type of change, that is physical change and chemical change. In that first change is physical change. So what do you mean by a physical change? Physical change means, for example, if I am taking a ice cube, okay, if I am heating the ice cube, it will changes to water. Okay, water is formed. So by heating. Then if I am cooling the same, if I am cooling this water, what will happen? Water will change back to ice. It is a reversible condition, right? And what is the substance made in it? Substance made in ice and water, H2O molecules only. The particles are same only. The substance is not changing, but their state of appearance is changing, right? The change in which no new substances are formed or the substance remains same. The change in which the substance remains same or no new substances are formed and which are reversible is known as a physical change. The change in which no new substances are formed and which can be reversed is called a physical change. Okay. Then some examples: ice melt to water, that is an example for physical change. A burning of lighting our tube light bulb, okay, that is an example for physical change. So some examples we are going to study. The first example is glowing of a heater or a bulb. Electric heater, all of your house heater is there, no? Water heater. So we know that it is appearing like a coil, water heater coil. Let it be coil or whichever it is, that one. Okay. So it is a metal only, one particular metal it is made up of. So when we switch on, when we start to heat it, does that metal changes? Metal will not change, substance is not changing, right? But after when we turn it off, what happens? The substance, will it change? No. Its temperature will go. It will again get, when we are turning it off, it will not change. The substance is not changing. Okay. Another example, bulb, electric bulb. The substance made in that bulb, the glass, the tungsten wire, it is not changing. The material present in it or the substance present in it is not changing. Only it produces light. When we turn it off also, the bulb substance, the substance made present in the bulb, electric bulb, it is not changing. Okay. So we can say glowing of heater or a bulb is an example for physical change. And see, then thermal expansion of a substance. See, if you are taking a piece of metal, let it be 5 centimeter length, okay, and if you started to heat the substance, okay, it will expand, its length will expand and its length will be let it be 7 centimeter. So its length expanded. Does the metal change? First let it be iron metal. Does the metal change to copper metal or gold metal? No, it will not change. The substance present in it remains same. Okay. So thermal expansion of a substance is also an example for physical change. Okay. Read this paragraph. Then change in state of matter. Example, a solid ice cube changes to melt to water. Ice melt to water or water changes to water vapor. The substance present in it is only H2O. Is it changing? H2O molecule. The substance is not changing. No new substances are forming. Substance remains same. But their state of matter is changing. The change in state of matter. The state of matter is changing. That is also an example for physical change. Another example I will show. A candle if you are taking. Okay. A candle you are taking. If it melt. Okay. And wax is formed. Okay. Wax is formed. So candle is also made up of wax. The substance is not changing, but its appearance or the state of matter is changing. Right? So these all are an example for physical change. Okay. Next, this one we have studied solid to liquid, liquid to vapor. Now only I told that. Okay. Then see, sublimation. Okay, next topic is sublimation. Sublimation means the substance changing from solid directly to gas, not to liquid. We know that a substance will change from solid to liquid and liquid to gas. But in some cases, a solid will directly change to gaseous state without converting to liquid. Okay, for example, if you are see that room fresheners are there, no, that O'Donnell and all, solid state substance, no, if you are hanging it on the washroom or in a room, okay, when you enter the room you can feel its smell, that means its gas you can feel, but can you see it is melting to liquid? It will not change to liquid. What it will do, it will directly change to gas only. So the substance made in it, that if it different fragrance, it is sometimes one particular rose smell will be there, jasmine smell will be there, that is substance, which is the substance added in it for that fragrance. It is not changing, right? So the substance is not changing, but what it is doing, it is changing to from solid state to gaseous state without changing to liquid. That process is called sublimation. The process of changing a solid substance directly to gaseous state without forming liquid state, that is known as sublimation. Okay, another examples of forming sublimation are naphthalene, camphor, iodine, etc. Okay, naphthalene, camphor, iodine, etc. are some examples for sublimation. Naphthalene means that cockroach tablet. Then iodine means it is a violet color solid, it is small mustard type it is. Okay. Camphor, that in temples we will use for burning that camphor. Then next topic is dissolving of a substance in a liquid. How a substance is dissolved in liquid. For example, if I am taking some sugar crystal, okay, one bowl sugar I am taking, okay, then another beaker containing water, okay, beaker containing water, and the substance which is dissolving, which will dissolve, sugar will dissolve in water. The substance which is dissolving is called a solute. Okay, the substance which is dissolving is known as solute, and the substance which is used to dissolve, and in which substance you are going to dissolve. For example, in water you are dissolving the sugar, right? So that water is known as solvent. Okay, in which substance you are dissolving, that substance is called solvent. Okay, so see the sentence, the substance that dissolves is called solute. Example, sugar, salt, etc. And the liquid which the substance dissolves, in which liquid you are going to dissolve the substance, that is a solvent. Okay, don't get confused with solute and solvent. What is a solute? Solute means the substance which will dissolve, that is known as solute. Example, sugar, salt, etc. And what is solvent? The liquid used for dissolving, that is known as solvent. Okay, and the combination of solute and solvent, after mixing the solute, what you will tell? If you have mixed sugar in water, what you will tell? Sugar solution, right? So the substance, the mixture of solute and solvent is called solution. Okay, solute, solvent, solution. Okay, clear now? So if you are taking a beaker of salt water, okay, salt water, and you are boiling the solution, you are boiling it, okay, after some time, if you are closing it with a lid, after some time, when you take off the lid, you can see the water drops are seen, right? That means the water present in it we can separate. That means solvent we can separate. Solvent and solute we can separate. How we can separate? By boiling. By boiling we can separate solute and solvent. The salt will settle down slowly. So water will be evaporated in the form of water vapor. We can separate solute and solvent. So dissolving a substance is an example for physical change. Okay, that is salt and water, the substance is not changing. For example, you are taking sugar crystals, okay, sugar crystals, let it be blue color. Then you are taking water. In water you are dissolving it, okay. H2O is also there, sugar is also there. So when you are mixing these two substances, okay, mixing these two substances, sugar molecules will not get disappeared, sorry, water molecules will not get disappeared. Same way sugar molecules also will not get disappeared, but they will be staying in the intermolecular space. We know that water have large intermolecular space, liquids have large intermolecular space. So the sugar will come and occupy in the intermolecular space only, okay. They will not form new product, okay. So we can say the substance are remaining same only. Sugar particles are also present, H2O is also present, substance is not changing, okay. So that is, so we can say dissolving a substance is also an example for physical change, okay. See, while dissolving in a liquid, a solid breaks up into molecules inside the liquid, and these molecules hide in the intermolecular space of the liquid. Now only I told that the sugar crystals will be settling in, taking part in the intermolecular space of the liquid, okay. So the volume of the liquid does not change if something is dissolved in it, okay. The volume will not change. If you are taking 5 gram water, 5 liter water means the 5 liter will not change. If you are adding in that 5 liter water, if you add 1 kilogram sugar, okay, it will not change to 6 liter, because why? In water there are large intermolecular space, so that the molecules will be settling in the space only. It will not change its volume, okay. Then another one is chemical change. What do you mean by a chemical change? What is a chemical change? A change in which new substances are formed and which are not reversible. For example, digestion of food. When you are eating food, the food get digested in your stomach. Can you return back that digested food back to its initial condition? No. That type of changes are known as chemical changes. New substances are formed from the food you eat. Which is the new substances formed? Proteins, vitamins, minerals, etc. From that protein, vitamin, minerals, you cannot return back to the food. New substances are formed there. Or burning of paper. When a paper is burned, white color paper changes to black color ash powder, okay. So burning is an example for chemical change. New substances are formed there. Example, burning. When lighted, a combustible substance like hydrogen, coal, wood, paper, kerosene, etc. burns in air, okay. They are burning in air. So when kindled means burned, hydrogen burns in air to form water, okay. H2 plus O2 gives H2O. Any substance will burn in the presence of oxygen only. So on being cooled, water does not give back hydrogen. When you will cool H2O, it will not produce hydrogen gas, okay. Another simple example, burning of paper. White color paper burned to form black color ash powder. Can you return that black color ash powder back to paper, white paper? No, impossible. So that type of changes are known as chemical changes, okay. Any one example you have to read. You don't want to by heart all these given examples and all, okay. And coal, what will happen when coal is burned? So coal contains mainly carbon, black color, koila. In market you will get, no. So black color substance is coal. When burned, the carbon of the coal combines with the oxygen of the air to form a new substance. So the carbon combine with the oxygen, C plus O2, to form which product? Carbon dioxide gas. So carbon dioxide gas is produced in the air. So can you make that carbon dioxide gas back to carbon? No. So that is an example for chemical change. So we can say burning is an example for chemical change, okay. So up to here, all of you read your textbook, okay. So yesterday also I told you that the first chapter's note I have added. Don't waste your time, write it, complete it in your notebook, okay. When your school will reopen, I will be checking your notes. Clear? Okay. So Take care all of you. Read your textbook, okay?